you for checking out this quick tutorial on C programming. In this tutorial, we will discuss the basics of the C language, getting an environment set up on a Windows machine, and writing our first C program. In order to get started, we'll need to understand the tools that we'll be working with. And the first one that I would like everyone in this tutorial to get very familiar with, it is a C programmer's tool that we use very frequently. That will be command prompt. We'll be using command prompt to run our code and compile our code. So the first tool that we will be discussing will be min. In order to get this started, we're first going to learn how to actually write things to a file from the command prompt. So we'll begin that with echo min GW64. Now there's nothing special about writing min GW64, but that is a tool that we will be using to write our programs. So that will be min GW64. It'll have a library of compilers that we will be using. So one of those will be GCC and G++. Those are the C compilers that we'll be using. The other tool that we'll be using will be, let's just echo this into our file first. We'll call this mytools.txt. Now if we run the dir command, we can see that there is a file called mytools.txt. And then if we were to run, I believe, the notepad on mytools.txt, this opened this in another window for me, but here's our file, min.gw64. Okay, now the next thing that we're going to discuss. The other tool that we will be using very frequently will be called Visual Studio. Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code is an integrated development kit, integrated development environment, which will be used to write our code, save changes, and we'll be able to look at files with that. So let's go ahead and add this to our mytools.txt. And now instead of doing notepad, we'll do notepad mytools.txt. There we go. The next tool that we'll be using is Git. Git is a version control system. What is a version control system? It is a tool that will allow us to track changes in our code. So that means if I change a certain line, I'm able to track it the next day, from the next day to the next day. It's used in most professional environments by teams to keep track of changes in your code. So that will be Git, and I will put quotes around this, mytools.txt. Now you see I have 3 notepads opened because they're all in different states. And I'm hitting the up arrow to go back. I can use the up and down arrow to go back to previous commands. So I'm at get mytools.txt. I go up one more command, and what this will do is it'll run notepad with the argument mytools.txt. Here we go. I placed git in quotes because Git is actually a tool that's installed on my machine currently. And if I run that, you'll see that I get this list of things. That is running the executable git.exe, which is running binary code, and that is installed on my machine. So I do not want to run echo git mytools.txt because I'm unsure about how that would affect my computer. Okay, so that will be it for this first video. I'm just giving you an introduction to the tools we'll be using. In part 2, I will show you how to download the tools, install them on your machine, and write your very first C program. Thank you for watching.